Imagine all this from these beautiful memories to dates.
So I'm going to be actively involved in Mkhonto as a party and shape its direction and the politics that are obtaining today in South Africa. So that is to end the uncertainty or speculations that have been obtaining in terms of what is going to happen. There is no specific position that have been assigned to me. There is no commitment or any promise of deployment to parliament or to anything. It's a decision that I have taken, and I think and believe that it will add meaningful value to the progressive and revolutionary politics that must be pursued by all the progressive forces in South Africa.
Oh yes, you heard him very well. Floyd Shivambu, who's the former deputy president of the EFF, is no longer part of the EFF. What could be the real reason that motivates Floyd Shivambu to leave the EFF? Is it what they are showing us in front of cameras, or is there something more bigger than what you guys were ignoring? We're going to find out in this video. In order for you to understand all this, I want you to pay more close attention to what I'm about to show you. This is Floyd Shivambu, a second before he leaves the platform, before Julius Malema have to come and respond back. Look the reactions of Floyd Shivambu on his face. You'll tell for yourself that this is not the same Floyd Shivambu that we know. Look the face. Look how he reacts. And then, now, this is Julius Malema, who's about to give you also his speech. See the look of these two individuals compared to the one we all are familiar of. You can tell that the two leaders, they're actually giving each other a cold shot. But Julius Malema, he had at least to come and confirm that indeed Floyd Shivambu is no longer part of the
EFF. I stand before you to accept the decision of the Deputy President of the EFF, who has voluntarily resigned his positions and did not renew his membership. When he sent me a letter yesterday, I felt the same pain when I received the news of the passing away of my mother. Because Floyd, to me, is not just a comrade, he's a brother. And he will remain a brother even when he pursues his political career differently. We formed this organization together. And I've told him that resigning from the EFF is equal to resigning from himself, because this is his organization. The constitution of the EFF does not allow people to resign and join other political parties and come back to the party. But I've made this offer to Floyd that the day you decide to come back, you are more than welcome, because you are not a member, you are a founder of this political party. So you are not our enemy, will never be your enemies. Will continue to engage on different political and personal issues. Floyd is not the only one. Jimmy Manyi has also resigned to go and join MK. And there will be many others who are going to leave the EFF because they've got their loyalty and support to the Deputy President. So fighters on the ground should be prepared for more people to follow. And this should not serve as a point of collapse for the EFF. This is a testing moment. The organization that has lived beyond 10 years has never been through this testing moment. The EFF will have to pass this test or it will have to die. And we, as members and leaders of the EFF, will defend its life, will make sure it lives forever for generations to come. It is the responsibility of the provincial leaders, the regional leaders, and the branch leaders to consolidate the ground and strengthen the branches of the EFF. This is not the end. It's a beginning of a journey, because we've turned 10 years and this is a new chapter for the EFF. So you can be rest assured that we are not going to be howling insult at each other. We are not going to be speaking bad about each other. Individuals make individual political decisions, and they will stand by those decisions. We all write our own individual history, and the Deputy President has decided to write his own history. And individuals will leave the organization, but the organization must still stand, because the organization must live beyond individuals. If it is an organization, it can't rely on the existence of individuals, including me as a person. If it happens one day I die, the EFF will have to live beyond me, because the EFF has got its own founding manifesto, its own election manifesto. The EFF is well represented in Parliament and will continue to execute its responsibilities. We wish DP all of success. We know that wherever he's going to be of value. We've lost a valuable member as the EFF, but the show continues.
All right, guys, that was Julius Malema, who had to come and confirm the letter which the former deputy president of the EFF, we call him former deputy president of the EFF, because Floyd Shivambu is no longer part of the EFF. He decided to go and join other political party for the reasons which we are going to disclose with you in this video, if you stay until the end. So, Julius Malema, what can we understand from his words? Of course, first of all, you can tell we are listening to a Julius Malema who's a heartbroken. We are seeing a Julius Malema who feel betrayed by his right hand. We see a Julius Malema who's more disappointed in Floyd Shivambu, because he was also shocked to see Floyd Shivambu coming to tell him that no, he's going to join another political party, which is not the EFF of Julius Malema, which they had fought for after all these years. So you see that Julius Malema is so disappointed, he could not still believe. Still, again, you can tell that they had a debate in the high-profile members of the EFF in order for them to solve this problem whatsoever could be the main reasons that motivate Floyd Shivambu to leave. And you see that Julius Malema, he had even to explain to the media that no, guys, according to the policies of the EFF, once a EFF member has to leave the EFF as a political party to go and join another political party, these members are not welcome to be welcome back in the EFF. Once you leave the EFF, you go, you join another political party, there is no a U-turn for you. But Julius Malema, he said, I'm more than willing to welcome Floyd Shivambu back. In other words, Julius Malema is simply to say that, is trying to say that he's willing to violate the right or the rule or the EFF policy in order for him to make sure that Floyd Shivambu comes back in the EFF. This already will tell you that Julius Malema, with the other EFF high-profile members, leaders, should I put it in that way, they have tried to calm down Floyd Shivambu. They have tried maybe to tell him that no, please don't do this, it's not good, don't do that. But it seemed like on the other side, Floyd Shivambu, he had made up his mind. So Julius Malema, he is willing to make that kind of sacrifice to break the rules of the EFF in order for the Floyd Shivambu to feel like he's more than welcome to come back in the EFF if he wishes to do so. Do you know why? Because Julius Malema, according to him, he sees Floyd Shivambu not his right hand within the political party called by the EFF, Economic Freedom Fighter, as a member there, but he sees Floyd Shivambu as a brother, as a friend, as someone that he can rely on. But this, unfortunately, it all went in vain because Floyd Shivambu had made his own mind to move out from the EFF. Julius Malema had to go on by saying again that there will be many more people who will have to leave the EFF because these people, they have such kind of a loyal support to the deputy president of the EFF, former deputy president of the EFF, Floyd Shivambu. So don't hold it against me because we are used to see him as a deputy president of the EFF, and we never imagined that some days as this early that we will wake up one morning to find out that no, the deputy president of the EFF is no longer part of the EFF. So it is normal for us to keep on trying to adjust our tongues to see him in the past sentence so that we'll be able to apply it also whenever we speak about it. So Julius Malema, he had to say that there is not only him, there will be many people who will have to leave because it's all aware that there is a group of people in the EFF who've been very supportive to former deputy president of the EFF, Floyd Shivambu. Why? I'm going to disclose again more about it in a second because there is a lot which has been happening so far behind all these press conference that you guys saw today. There is a lot that had took place already so far, and I'm afraid to tell you that it is something that if the EFF do not open their eyes, of course, it will be a divided EFF more than even the divided ANC. So we are going to talk about it in this video. Give me just a second as I'm trying to show you all exactly what happened through this press conference so that we can be back with more analysis. So Julius Malema, he had to mention some of the EFF members who joined the EFF just because of these elections. The EFF members who joined the EFF all just because the MK part was not existing, and they came in. Julius Malema with the EFF, they welcomed them with their open arms, and then they give them even the post in the parliament. We're talking about people such as Busisiwe Mkhwebane, we're talking about people such as Ndai, we're talking about people such as this Mulungu. All of them, you guys, you know them because I'm not a member of the EFF, so I won't be able to know all their names, but we can see their figures out there. And these people, they were all welcome within the EFF, right? And Julius Malema with the EFF, they even sacrificed certain members of the EFF who supposed to be sitting inside the parliament to prioritize these members. Well, some of them, as we're talking right now, they already left the EFF. Some of them, they even resigned on Monday. Why? Because they feel like their right place to be, it is within the MK part. Now, that is also something which I will have to leave you with a question in mind. Was that a strategy which made these people to go ahead to being part of the EFF so that they can try to neutralize the EFF from the inside, or was they actually in a mission to destroy the EFF? We are going to discuss again more about that. But in the second part of this press conference, something did happen. Of course, I'm talking about the journalist who had to ask the former deputy president of the EFF, Floyd Shivambu, a question to know what are his reasons that motivate him to leave the EFF for MK part. What is it the point that really encourage him to let go of something that himself he have started with his best friend for something that is just going to join them? Well, Floyd Shivambu himself, he did not want to talk about it because he was very clear. He said that I don't want to talk about MK party here because if I have to talk about MK party here, it will be like I'm campaigning for them. And if I have to talk about MK party, let me talk about it in a rightful platform whereby at least I won't be violating other people's rights. After he said that, he had to give at least some of the basics points which give him a good reason enough for him to leave the EFF. And this is what Floyd Shivambu had to say.
A statement that I don't want to speak about Mkondo Wesizwe party here. So if you say, why did you join and what attracts you, then you are forcing me to speak about Mkondo Wesizwe party here and the reasons. I will talk about Mkondo Wesizwe openly in the appropriate platforms. And that is what we'll do. What I know, though, is that the Progressive Caucus Charter, which was co-signed by Mkondo Wesizwe Party, the Economic Freedom Fighters, the ATM, the NCC, and the UAT, amongst other things, says that we shall fight for expropriation of land without compensation for equitable redistribution. So that joint charter which we signed also says that we're going to fight for the nationalization of the commanding heights of the economy, in particular the mines and the banks. It also says that we're going to strengthen our democracy by ensuring that the government and all captains of the ruling class are held accountable to achieve a corrupt-free society. It also says that we shall fight for the decolonization of legal and cultural apparatuses in society as a whole, with emphasis on an Afrocentric philosophy of law. So the charter which we jointly signed says that we shall fight for free quality education, healthcare, housing, water and sanitation. It also says that we're going to fight for the industrial development of the African economy, attainment of peace and stability in all its nations. And it also says that we shall defend and promote the liberation, struggle legacy, and progressive internationalism. And part of the key tenets of the political ideological agreement that I know jointly defines the EFF and Mkondo Wesizwe Party is anti-capitalism, it's anti-racism, it's anti-sexism, it's anti-colonialism. And those, an anti-imperialist character as well, the rule of law. And those are the values which I know I can say this because these are values that commonly characterize the political parties. So one thing which I don't do, Samkel, I'm sure you could have realized, is that I don't entertain rumors and speculations. So even if people spread false things about what happened and what didn't happen, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. I deal with politics and political content strictly. So every time I'm going to have a political discussion or a media discussion, it will strictly be on content issues and how do we shape society, how do we build a progressive society which is going to benefit the black majority and Africans in particular. So that is the agenda that we're going to be communicating. Those things of who met who, when, and all of those things, like I went to Nkandla during elections, or last year when we were setting up structures. I've never been to Nkandla in the recent past, but I don't want to enter into that discussion. And I will not be tempted, not once, to take platforms to talk about personal issues. All the time, we'll stick to the commitment of talking politics, of content, of ideology, of just how do we take society forward. That is strictly what we're going to deal with. The rest of the issues, I don't think they are worth responding. Thank you very much.
Again here, guys, listening to Floyd Shivambu very well, you can tell that it does not want to open up to tell people the truth, the real reason behind him leaving the EFF and joining another political party. It does not really disclose everything as people were expecting. Why? Because they are trying to protect each other's image. As I said at the beginning of this video, there is a lot that took place so far within the EFF between Floyd Shivambu and the leadership of the EFF. But I think there's kind of like a deal which the leaders of the EFF, they just decided to disclose everything. So like, okay, no, look, since we can't walk in the same road and we decided to go our two different ways, at least the good or the less we can do for each other is to keep quiet about our differences. Because him saying whatever he's saying, obviously will tell that this is what they had agreed and not what really happened. In few days to come, you guys are going to find out a lot of truth of what really happened. Because you listen to Floyd Shivambu, he's giving the reasons of that that motivate him to go to another political party such as the one of Jacob Zuma, because he believed that the same policy which he's been fighting for in the EFF, it also found on the other side of the MK. He spoke about the lands, he spoke about the minings, he spoke about the banks, he spoke about the African unity, he spoke about all those kind of things as you heard him for yourself. But is that the real reason? Because let me just try to give you a very easy example with the fact on it. I've been always telling you guys time to time that politicians, they're nothing without power. And in order for you to have power in politics, you must have a high profile, should I say, a high position, which you have. It has to be offered to you by your organizations or your political party or what. That is even the whole purpose of the things. The EFF, they don't want to fight as a opposition political party in the parliament for all these years. They would love one day to take over this country as the ANC does, as the ANC did also with the apartheid regime. That is the main focus of each and every politicians out there around the world. You can even see it in the US. Trump, whom was supposed to be resting somewhere, he decided to come back. You can tell everywhere around the world, these are the things which are happening, and we can't blame anyone for that. But was Floyd Shivambu suffering in the EFF? Was he someone who was not having a consideration in the EFF? Was he someone who was not well treated in the EFF? The answer to that is no. I'll tell you why. Because see the position which he held. He did not start becoming the deputy president of the EFF yesterday. No. The man is become the deputy president of the EFF from their first congress which took place a couple of years ago. Since then, he's been in that position. And no one ever tried to challenge him. The man was free, was living his life. So we all know that after Julius Malema, it is Floyd Shivambu. That are the facts. That it is the truth. So you can tell already that someone such as a Floyd Shivambu, he was not suffering in the EFF. He was good, he was doing very well. And the position which he held in the EFF, it's not the kind of a position that you can just go and get it anywhere else. Even though it's going in the MK party, of course there is a deal, which he refused to disclose, and we are going to tell you about it in this video. Stay tuned until the end so that you don't miss exactly what they had agreed on in order for him to be part of the MK party. Now, Floyd Shivambu was not suffering in the EFF at all. Floyd Shivambu was doing very good in the EFF. But seeing him leaving the EFF, going to the other side of Jacob Zuma, of course, it's because there is a better offer, which he believed that it is much more better to the one of the EFF. Besides that, remember, they always say that there's no smoke without fire. The problem here is that Floyd Shivambu wants to contest against Julius Malema. And they could not have the courage to tell him that face to face. But he seems he had also a couple of support within the EFF. These are the people who've been trying to pass out this message. Again, I said, there's no smoke without fire. I'm going to play you this video for you to understand exactly what did happen. This happened a year ago. It was in 2003, after the EFF they had celebrated their 10th anniversary in the soccer city. Floyd Shivambu had held, should I say, a press conference? No, he was interviewed by one of the journalists, and then he used a word of our differences. We can put our differences aside. Kind of like they were having some conflict between him and the leader of EFF, Julius Malema, which he did not disclose more about it. But that part of the video went viral, and everyone were talking about, like, no, Julius Malema is having problem with Floyd Shivambu. Floyd Shivambu is having problem with Julius Malema. Blah blah blah. It is a problem of leadership they are fighting. Well, now they were asked this question in this press conference that I did myself attend, when they asked this question by journalists to Floyd Shivambu and Julius Malema, to know exactly when Julius Malema will have to step aside and let someone else to take the EFF, so that the EFF can have a new leadership on top of it. And when this question was arise in the press conference, of course, Floyd Shivambu did give his explanations. But the part which I want to play for you, that's I want you guys to understand exactly, was the response of Julius Malema regarding all these rumors that was circulating during that time. And this is what Julius Malema had to say into 2023.
At least one thing, you idea in your life. Just do one thing. So it can be, comrades, Floyd. I don't even know what you are asking about. Like, in the past 10 years, there's never been anything that suggests me and Floyd have got fundamental differences. Nothing. We disagree on approach. This one may be this way, that way, and that we can fight and even think of not speaking to each other with Floyd. I didn't know that Floyd did an interview and said our differences. I was going to call him immediately. Which ones are those? I don't have a... You know, there are clowns here in the EFF who think they know us, ne? Who think they were nothing without them. Yeah, who behave in some narcissist way, in a very egoistic way. You will never feel that with Floyd. No. So I don't know, Shem. Hey, you will have to slaughter cows for that fight to happen. It will never happen. That's what the enemy wishes for. He will speak for himself, but from where I'm sitting, I told my son, if I die, you must contact Uncle Floyd so that you guys work together in consultation with your mother on the program of the funeral. My son knows that. So I don't have anybody. Remember, I'm alone. When I was standing there on that thing that took me up there at the in the stadium there, I'm like that. I'm like, I was done. I was alone there. Like, if you kill me, it's done. There's no any sibling, no parents, no nothing. So I'm like, for it not to be clumsy politically, you're going to have to consult Uncle Floyd. So you and Mom know that, okay, the EFF interests are well taken care of. Because we can't have a situation where there will be an infiltration. And then Floyd, they are even told not to speak at my funeral. And then they are very good at hijacking funerals. So why would I entrust someone with such a responsibility if I've got problems with? So there's nothing, man. Like, there's nothing even to justify, none whatsoever. And when I was talking to Floyd, and I said I'm brutal, well, you know, I'm a lighter moment, SG. And then when I read about, I'm like, It's not even allowed to joke or anything. A joke becomes a headline, like Floyd has been warned. I'm like, anyway, if it was other clowns, it will get to them. It will never get to Floyd that he's been warned and all of that, because he knows the language. He knows when things are meant and when things are not meant. So he has been in the space for a very long time.
Now you understand for yourself that Julius Malema have a lot of trust toward the man called Floyd Shivambu, because they have a very good friendship which they had for all these years. You can tell that Julius Malema, even within his willing, in the moment when if he have to die, of course, his family, they know what to do. They know whom they have to contact. That is not something that someone can do if they don't trust one person. You can't put a name of someone in your will or in your insurance if you're not too sure about this person, or if you know that this person some days they'll come and betray you. Because guys, whether we like it or not, I think if Julius Malema knew that some days Floyd Shivambu will have to leave him to go and join another political party, I don't think that was going to be something that Julius Malema was going to have that courage to set his son down and tell him that, no, my son, if I die today, you have to go to Uncle Floyd Shivambu in order for you guys to organize my funeral. I doubt Julius Malema will have done something like that. And listening to him very well, you could see the man speaking with all confidence, saying that, no, guys, no, you guys with this, your rumors, no. Tell me about someone else, not about Floyd. And if Floyd had said something like this, I would have been the first one to react on it, and not the way you guys are trying to make it look like. That is Julius Malema giving the answer to all those rumors. But again, guys, there is no smoke without no fire. Because, when medias and journalists ask questions, sometimes we get all these things just within people who are within all these organizations, and they can come and talk to you, but they just want you to protect them. And when journalists were asking these questions, it's because they had already some rumors, they had already some informations. But just because maybe Julius Malema was so blinded by his trust, the way he trusted Floyd Shivambu, just because he was trusting Floyd Shivambu with everything in his power, well, what else was he gonna do if not to pay attention to not pay attention to what the media were saying back then? But today, where are we? Is Floyd still in the EFF? No. Is Julius Malema can be able to speak the same things? No. I show you some of the reaction of Floyd Shivambu once he finished giving his speech. See the look on the face, how angry he looks like he is. And see when Julius Malema came in to start talking, you could see Julius Malema, he could not address Floyd Shivambu in that same way that usually addressing him like the way we just saw in this video I played for you. You will see that Julius Malema, he just went straight to the point by telling people that yes, he had accepted the resignation of Floyd Shivambu. So that it's something which shows already that there is indeed something serious that's been going on for some times now. And someone such as Floyd Shivambu to take that decision is because he believed that his future was no longer that long in the EFF. So in other words, Floyd Shivambu, he had betrayed the EFF leader Julius Malema, and already there's some rumors out there that Floyd Shivambu have sold out. Well, we shall find out whether he sell out or not. But guys, they asked Julius Malema again this question to know about this regarding the same matters, that there is indeed a meeting which took place between former President Jacob Zuma with Floyd Shivambu, if he was aware about it, because that was also part of the rumors which shows that no, Floyd, before even he gave his letter of resignation in, he had already put everything in order And that I can also confirm it, because according to our resource, the man who was well away, he had first to go and find out exactly what he's going to benefit from this other side of a political party than the one that is not having in the EFF, which we are going to talk with you about it in a second. And Julius Malema, he had to come and confirm whether he knew about this meeting or not.
I don't know of a meeting between Floyd and President Zuma. When did Manye resign? Monday, this Monday. Yeah, Monday. But even before he left, he sent me a message saying he wants to see me. He asked for an appointment through the SG, and the SG is not acting on that appointment, so he's coming directly to ask me for a meeting. I referred back the communication to SG, and SG's response was very simple. He's leaving. So he's going to MK. So what meeting for what? Because he's leaving. Why must we have a meeting? He's leaving. So he wants me to call you to come and tell you that he's leaving. He's leaving. And then that was when Friday, Thursday, somewhere there. And then Monday he resigned. SG sent me the letter. And I've not done anything. I've not spoken to him. It's not my place. He has made his own decision. Well, I've got no relationship, none whatsoever, or association with President Zuma. I don't have any kind. So we fought President Zuma, and then when he was out, we're done with it. So to pursue him, even after his term of office, will be unreasonable. And that's why I never saw a need to speak bad about him in the elections, because my focus was on the main political party that we seek to remove from power. So I can't be concentrating on other political opposition parties instead of concentrating on the main target, which was the ANC and the DA. Those were the two parties ahead of us. So that's what we focused on. And I've never taken any platform to speak bad about President Zuma, because I believe that it's not my space to be fighting other small political parties. We need to focus on the main enemies of the revolution. There are people who spoke very bad about MK, spoke very bad about President Zuma, who are going to join him now. That's the nature of politics. Politics, if we're in the stock market, it was going to be a very volatile stock because of in and out. You can't say, no, they are here, they are forever here. So we take that risk as we continue to build the organization. I can't give a list of who's going to join MK after Floyd. I didn't know Floyd was going to join MK. So if I didn't know about Floyd, can you imagine about others? Because I'm more close to Floyd, more than anyone else. So if I didn't know about Floyd, you can expect that there will be others. Our relationship with MK does not get affected by individual members joining MK or leaving MK to join EFF or anything. Our relationship is defined by what the Deputy President has read as a charter for Progressive Caucus. And that's what brings us together with MK. I don't know about pending charges of VBS or anything of that sort. So I wouldn't say there was anything necessitated by that. Samkele, I know of a long list of people who are double pegging. The EFF, the MK, I know them. Sometimes I tell them that this one is going to move, this one is going to move, this one. So some of these things don't shock us because we anticipated them, we see them as they come. But we must be rest assured that the organization will live beyond us.
So you can tell that Julius Malema, he was not aware that Floyd Shivambu had met the former president Jacob Zuma in his home at KwaZulu-Natal. So you can tell already that this is how politics works. When one person is preparing a coup attempt against you, they're not going to tell you. Sometimes you just wake up and then you find that, okay, things have already happened. But these things took place. You heard Julius Malema talking about money. Of course, these are the people who play a very big role in the move that Floyd Shivambu had made from the EFF to MK. We are going to tell you again more about it. Because this man is one of the members which the EFF they had welcomed. And disciplining other people who have worked so hard in the EFF, giving them positions in the parliament, but just to find out that no, they were in a mission and they end up succeeding. Because it is not by consequences you come and tell me that no, Mani had to go and resign and the next things now we're having Floyd resigning. No, this is the man whom the MK have used in order for them to get hold of Floyd Shivambu. Yes, they used him first by telling, because remember, the relationship between Jacob Zuma with Manye, we all know that it's a very strong relationship. The relationship between Zuma and is it former secretary of the EFF or what position was Dalimpo for having in the ANC during the when he was one of the top leaders in the EFF? I can't remember, but you guys, you know, the kind of the position which Dalipov was having. I mean, he's having in the EFF, if I have to put it in that way. So you tell that these people that are more close to Zuma, and these people, of course, they are kind of like trying to work so hard in order for them to change things around. And since things could not work in their favor, while there are the same people that who went and negotiated with the MK, and MK have to use them in order for them to start like getting and targeting some big officers within the EFF, and that's what happened on that part. So now, Julius Malema, he was also asked a question: if Floyd Shivambu was going to challenge him, well. Malema have to say this.
I'm not aware of Floyd going to challenge me in the next conference of the EFF. If anything, where such rumors were raised, no one even bothered to bring them forward as a threat that, no, Malian Guardian said this, you see the plan of these guys is clear, because no one ever took that very serious, because there was no such a thing. And there was never a discussion to replace Floyd as the deputy president. All of the informal talks I've listened to, there's never been a single person who came to me and said, we need to remove Floyd. If anything, I've heard that Marshall is going to be contested and things like that. But I've never heard that about Floyd. And that there's a possibility of a contestation between the two of us. So this could not have been necessitated by paging or fighting between me and Floyd, because there was no such a conflict. So we are where we are. Painful as it is, we have to accept it and we have to move on. It was unexpected. Some of our leaders shed tears this morning because it came as a shock, and they've never seen it happening. So we accept it. There's nothing much we can do about personal decisions. When people take personal political decisions, that should never lead into enmity. We drink holy water with Castle Matal. For many years, since the formation of the EFF, but he's a member of the ANC, he's a leader of the ANC, he's a deputy minister of police. That has never made us to be enemies. So I'm giving you that example, that belonging to a different political party does not make you an enemy. But we must accept that people will have personal decisions and personal developments, and that we are not stuck where we are.
Now, guys, let us tell you exactly what is happening. And we don't want to speculate with bad things, but we are telling you according to our own understanding of things and what we have in our possession so far. So we are not here going to mention people who had provided us with all these information or not, to just also protect them within their own organizations. So what happened is that the MK with Jacob Zuma, there is a serious problem of leadership. Yes, the MK, it had become kind of like a family matter, or a family belongs property, if I have to put it in a simple English, a family property which belongs to former President Jacob Zuma. Jacob Zuma is the one who ran the MK inside and out, and everything he does it seated at home there at Kankla. Now, we all know that the MK with Jacob Zuma, who's supposed to be sitting maybe somewhere in the parliament doing all these things, unfortunately, they had challenged him by the IEC, they had challenged him by the ANC inside court, where we saw the former President Jacob Zuma lost in all this battle because they had to say that no, he's not qualified to participate in this election, he's not qualified to be part of the parliament, for the reasons which we had spoke with you in our previous videos. We don't want to elaborate more about that. We'll talk about it maybe in the next videos, but that's what we know so far, that Jacob Zuma is not inside the parliament, even though he desperately wants to be inside the parliament. Now, in the absence of Jacob Zuma went and sent someone else who can not only represent the MK party, but represent Jacob Zuma himself. In other words, a person who's the Jacob Zuma mouth to speak in his behalf. And that's when they went on and bring this doctor, the former judge, Justice, Lawfare, something like that. They call this man, they bring him inside the parliament. Now, this man now that is inside the parliament is already being attacked by the majority. I'm talking about the DA, I'm talking about the ANC. They are attacking him already. According to them, they believe that a man who's been removed in his position as a judge is not a fine example to be part of the parliament. And there's something which is preparing, which the DA, they are preparing against this judge in order for them to take him off from the parliament. If that has to happen, which means the MK party will be left without that powerful leader who can have a very big impact inside the parliament. Give me one name that you know so far, beside maybe Zuma's daughter. And Zuma, also clever as he is, he can't send Zile as his daughter to go and represent him over there, because it will just make everything become even more obviously, because you guys even remember there was some battling between the what is his name, I forgot again, this one from MK who had to go and challenge the one that Jacob Zuma had to suspend, who want to say that no, the MK belongs to me, and the next things they are putting the Zile who have to come and take over, you know, those kind of conflict which took place recently. So Jacob Zuma can't go ahead and put his daughter there again. Now they need someone. And they don't just need someone like a small fish, but they need a big fish who will come and add a 1+ to MK political party. Because the future of MK party, it is big already. They need someone. And where can they find this person? The ANC is already being rotten according to the MK leader Jacob Zuma. And they had to go and find someone. On the other side, they end up seeing that no, we're having someone better there, and that person is Floyd Shivambu. Floyd Shivambu, which we all know that is one of the brain within the EFF. A person, when he speaks, you feel like no, there is a leadership there. There is that things, when you talk, because being a leader is not something easy. Yeah, being a leader is something you have to be born with. So you can go to school or not, but if you're not meant to be a leader, you're never going to be a leader. You will talk, people that will listen to you, but you're never going to shine. And the MK, they had understood that already, that okay, we need someone such as a Floyd Shivambu. So on the other side already, remember there is a speculations which it's showing that there is a serious problem within the EFF leadership, whereby they are kind of like now trying to challenge each other through positions. And Floyd on the other side, you heard him through this press conference I played for you, him saying that no, actually, not him who said so. I'm referring to Julius Malema, who was asked a question to know whether he was aware that Floyd Shivambu is supposed to be challenged by someone else on the position of the deputy president of the EFF in upcoming Congress in December. So Julius Malema, he explained about that, and you guys, you can understand that if Floyd Shivambu was aware that they are going to challenge him, which means it is something that maybe, according to him, he believed that no, the challenger, he had that authority to go ahead and challenge him, all because Julius Malema had approved or motivated them that no, I'm tired to work with Floyd. I'm just giving examples according to what is happening behind the cameras. So maybe they were like, no, I want to have someone else, or me and Floyd, we can't keep remaining in the same position forever. So one of us have to leave so that some new faces can come also and take over. Now, since we all know that the EFF can't be the same without the man called Julius Malema, so they rather prefer to keep Julius Malema right there on top, but his deputy president should be someone else. And Floyd Shivambu, he saw this coming, he could sense it. Now, while he was still trying to figure out on how he can try to resist to within the EFF, all because he did not want to be dropped to the low position, and the position which belongs to him for all these years should go to someone else. When it happened that, boom, the MK, they came and they put the offer on the table. Mr. Floyd Shivambu, you are wanted by former President Jacob Zuma. He sat down with him, they had a conversation. I believe they had a cup of coffee, as Julius Malema did with him back in days. And then it's like, no, look, I need you. You go into the parliament, you are going to replace this former judge. You are going to have this, you are going to have this. These are the benefits, these are the things. And on the other side, Floyd Shivambu now, he was left with the choice to see whether should I remain in the EFF right now and go participate in this upcoming Congress, which will take place in December, and being removed in my position as a deputy president, not for me to become the president of the EFF, but for me to become something a little bit lower, or just to be suspended from all the activities in the EFF. That was the choice number one. And the choice number two was for him to be like, okay, what if I just go on this side of MK? Because if I am that side with all the positions and the power that they are giving me, Jacob Zuma is an old man. He can die at any time. Maybe if he die, I will become a big leader there. Who knows? Those are the mathematics that politicians does. Politicians, they work with their own interest. Okay? Politicians do things according to what they feel like, I'm good on this one. Politicians, that's how they operate. And there's no need for us to beat around the bush. As we're not politicians, that's why we're having this courage to come and tell you things the way we are seeing it, not the way they're trying to present it to us in front of cameras. So it's just a matter of time, and you guys are going to see exactly what's going to happen. A lot of revelations is going to happen in these few days to come. A lot of things are going to happen. Trust me. A lot of things are going to happen. You guys are going to come back here at Cool Bars TV and say that yes, we were right when we tell you all these things at first. Now, Julius Malema, before he finished this press conference, before he finished his words, he passed a very strong message to the former deputy president of the EFF, Floyd Shivambu. Julius Malema, he attacked Floyd Shivambu by telling him something. I think Floyd Shivambu will have to go and sit down and watch this video, or maybe watch it as we are showing it to you right now, so that he can understand the message that Julius Malema had passed back to him when he said this.
This is not the beginning of the end of the EFF. This is the beginning of a new chapter for the EFF. This organization will be here for a very long time. Some girl, you know, we don't preside over failed projects. Once we put our mind into it, we put our souls into it, we will work tirelessly for this organization, including in KZN. We have not given up on KZN. What you need to know is that I will remain a loyal and disciplined member of the EFF, and that my coffin will be draped with the flag of the EFF. Even if I remain alone, I will do so because I'm loyal to this cause. And when there were rumors that I'm joining the ANC, my grandmother was still alive and said to me, you can join the ANC and get all the benefits you want. But what about these people who turned against the ANC in support of you? What's going to happen to these people? So many people's careers were destroyed. So many people became poor, and some lost even their homes because of this idea called the EFF. And to resign from it, I will be betraying those people who said we're prepared to take this risk because we believe in the vision of the EFF and its generational mission. So I want to reassure the ground forces of the EFF, loyal, hardworking, disciplined ground forces of the EFF. I am with you, and I will never turn my back against this organization. And I will never turn my back against this building named after one of the best leaders our struggle has produced, Winnie Madikizela Mandela House. So, this organization has got leadership. This organization has got structures. And the structures are seized with the process of preparing for conference. So be rest assured, tomorrow, the doors of this building will still be opened. We are not closing this building today, and we're not closing this building tomorrow. It will remain here as a monument for the struggle for economic freedom in our lifetime. So I want to repeat, I will be buried with the flag of the EFF. My coffin will be draped with the flag of the EFF, and I will never turn my back on my people. Thank you.
I will remain a disciplined and loyal member of the EFF. Those are the words of Julius Malema. In other words, Julius Malema is trying to pass a very simple message to Floyd Shivambu, saying that You are sabotaging your hard work, all just because you want power instead of you working hard and keeping what you have worked for or what you have sacrificed or almost your entire life for. You are jumping the border to go to something else. But me, I'll stay here and I'll die EFF member. And my coffin will be covered by the EFF flags. These words are very deep. We should not say it in a very simple way. These are the words which Julius Malema had to remind his friend that you are making a very big mistake. Regardless of what could be your reasons, regardless of what could be our differences, but you're supposed not to leave the EFF. Because leaving the EFF, it can seem that easy for you. It might be good for you, but you don't know if you will regret tomorrow. It is not because the MK, they came in power, they took the place of the EFF, they took all the voters of the EFF at KwaZulu-Natal, and they made the EFF even withdraw from their positions as they used to be in the parliament. That makes the MK to remain the same, like they will be this way always. No, there's no guarantee about that. We have many political parties which came up after the 1994 elections. These political parties, all of them, some of them, they don't even have a seat in the parliament. Don't forget about that. We have big political parties which came with a big influence, such as a COP. But have them take the power? No. So there's not any guarantee that's showing that if Floyd Shivambu leaving the EFF, and one day if things goes wrong for him and he decide to come back in the EFF, will people of the EFF, are they going to be able to see him in the same way? That's just a question. I'm leaving it up to you. Because now it's leaving. If he decide to come back, do you think EFF members, they will welcome him back with that excitement? Because according to what he just done, this is what most of members of the EFF right now, as we're talking, they feel as a betray. They feel like a sellout. He has become a sellout. Now, my question is, for how long will this have to continue? Because when you listen to Julius Malema himself, he said there's many of people who are going to leave this organization. And some of them is because they're more loyal to the former deputy president of the EFF, Floyd Shivambu. So what will happen next? But one thing I like about the last word of Julius Malema, he was more determined to assure each and every EFF members that yes, Floyd Shivambu might leave the EFF, but I'm still here. And remember again, at the beginning of this video, I said the EFF is nothing without the man called the EFF, Julius Malema. Because if Julius Malema decides to leave the EFF today, then the EFF won't be the same. Julius Malema can leave the EFF today and go somewhere and start another new political party called even by my name. People still gonna follow him. As much they did follow him when he left the ANC, people still gonna follow him. Now that the former president, deputy president, he have left the EFF, we shall see how many people are going to leave the EFF. If you are one of them, well, feel free to also let us know through the comment section. And if you believe that you still want to remain in the EFF with Julius Malema, express yourself through the comment section. Let us see also your opinions on what you think about this. Guys, I think that will be all for today. It was very important that we had this conversation with you because it was a breaking news which just dropped on the table. So we feel that we could not keep quiet, especially with all the information that we had. We were aware of all these things for a couple of weeks now, but we rather maybe to wait and see if the occasion can be given to us so that we can come here and give you our analysis. So we do not want also to precipitate, start rumoring around, saying things which maybe we might end up finding that we were wrong or being sued by other people just because we give the false information or those kind of things. But we wanted to make sure that we waited, and thanks God that moment it arrived. You have all the proof and evidence that shows that yes, indeed, it is true. When we were aware that the former deputy president of the EFF, Floyd Shivambu, was going to leave these organizations, and there's many people who are going to leave these organizations. It's just a matter of time. We are going to find out exactly what's happening. But come to think of it, another question that is coming in my mind is that now that all these people, they are leaving, and obviously they are going to join MK as a political party. So what will happen with those who've been in the MK? Because we saw MK lately, they've been registering a lot of new members. So my question is, what about those ones who've been there for some time? Because these are the same things that is causing the EFF today. The EFF, they start having this problem because they also did welcome a lot of new members with open arms. You know, when I'm talking about opening arms, it's like welcoming someone, you do not check whether they've been in the political party for so many years or for a few days or for weeks, but you look on what they have as a potential. You look at their quality, you see on how they can contribute, and that's how you see people such as Advocate Busiso Mukwebani and other members of the EFF. They took them in the parliament. Why? Because of their brain and everything. So EFF did that, but these ones who are leaving the EFF, do they have any guarantee that they will be treated in the same way in the MK, where there's a full of Zulus? We shall wait and see. Only time will tell whether we are right or not, but only we have to do what we're supposed to do by telling you exactly what we think about this. So guys, thank you so much for your time. We really do appreciate your moment here with us. We really appreciate you spending time here with us. So we like to ask you to not leave without giving your thumbs up, like this video and your numbers, and continue to be yourself, be good, be kind, have respect for everyone in order for you to be respected. May God bless you all. Ciao, ciao.
JULIUS MALEMA FIFA awayeshila umsizidube asinamala sinalutho amandla FIFA EFF FIFA FIFA EFF FIFA FIFA EFF FIFA Jesu fike kuseni sabathi bona beqedile ngathi thina sibona wo thulumamele kaloku thulumamele kaloku mandla
kabala magala